What is going on, everybody? This is Mason. You are tuning into the YouTube channel Wasatch Pop, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, fantastic week. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Guys, it is the end of 2020, right? We all thought that that would never actually happen because 2020, to be honest, kind of sucked.
It's true.
And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. But you know what? You know, at the end of every year, we like to look at things and, you know, kind of do countdowns and see, you know, what was potentially the best out of everything. And, you know, since this is a Funko channel, we're going to be talking about the best Funko Pops of 2020. So yeah, guys, you heard it right. We're going to be talking about the best pops of 2020. This whole week, we're going to be focusing on, you know, this year in review in Funko and kind of looking towards the future. So today, we're talking about the best Funko Pops of the year. And tomorrow, we're going to be talking about the worst Funko Pops of 2020. And then the next day, we're going to be talking about Funko in 2021 and what we can look forward to. So guys, without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so what I did was I went over on Instagram and I put up the question, what are some of your favorite Funko Pops of 2020? And I got a ton of different responses. And I'm gonna kind of focus on some of my thoughts that kind of combine with your thoughts and if I agree with you, which a majority of you guys have definitely agreed on what were some of the best pops of this year and some of my favorites. So it's kind of a mix of both. First one that we have down here, Danny Phantom, hands down. So while we're looking at this, I'm gonna explain why is it one of the best Funko Pops of 2020 and what makes it special. So why is it on this list? Why is Danny Phantom on this list? Well, here's the thing. So Danny Phantom is a classic Nickelodeon show. At least for me, I grew up watching the show. So if you're like a early 2000s kid, this is definitely something that, you know, is close to home for you for sure. And this was something that definitely I grew up with. So that's what makes it special for sure, because, you know, it's has a pretty good quote following and stuff. I mean, it's a Nickelodeon show. Everybody watched Nickelodeon. And a lot of people have been asking it for a while. So why is it in this top list? Well, the overall design looks really awesome. So, I mean, they put it on a little stand basically, and it has like a little translucent bottom, so it looks like a ghost on it, obviously, because Danny Phantom, he is, well, part ghost, obviously. So anyways, but yeah, that's kind of the two criteria of why this was in the top 20, because it's so beloved. They finally made it a pop, and the mold looked excellent. All right, guys, this next comment says Walt, hands down. So we're putting a lot of hands down on these, but I think they're referring to Walt Disney with the castle. And I'd have to agree with you 100%. This definitely deserves to be on the list. So what makes it special? So here's the thing. This is the first ever pop of Walt Disney, and Walt Disney is pretty much, well, he is the face of Disney. If he didn't exist, Disney wouldn't really be around with his iconic characters, you know, like Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, all that fun stuff. That would not exist. And so the man definitely deserves a pop, right? Because he created Disney. It's in his name. And so that's what makes it special. Why is it here? I mean, the overall mold looks really cool. I mean, it definitely looks like Walt Disney is holding a little Mickey Mouse. So that makes it really awesome. And it comes with, I believe it's Sleeping Beauty's castle. I could be wrong about that. But 100%, this is one that definitely deserves to be on the list due to the fact because there hasn't been a Walt Disney pop yet and it looks awesome. And the man behind Disney himself, he's such an iconic legend, and it was due time that he had a pop for sure. All right, next up, Johnny Bravo. So what makes this pop special? Why is it even on here? So what makes it special? Honestly, it's kind of like Danny Phantom in a way, a lot of nostalgia with that. It's a 90s cartoon over on Cartoon Network. For some reason, Cartoon Network pops are a little bit hard to come by for like being Funko Pops and everything. There's still a ton of Cartoon Network shows that they can make, but Johnny Bravo is definitely hands down a classic for sure. And I think what makes it cool is the overall mold looks really awesome. I mean, he's got his iconic sunglasses, he's got his big hair, you know, muscly body. It looks a little bit different than what a normal pop would, but since Johnny Bravo is just such like an odd shaped like character overall, you need to make him look what he would actually look like as a cartoon. And I would have to definitely agree, this is in one of my top pops for 2020. And overall, I think, you know, since it's just such a nostalgic character, definitely deserves to be on this list. All right, somebody submitted Cutie Corn. Cutie Corn is a really cool one as well. So why is it on this list? What makes it special? So what makes it special is this was a part of a Fun Days contest where you could design one of the next Fantastic Plastic character, so it's like an original character that Funko makes into Pops and other products and stuff like that. And so somebody did one of this little candy corn guy that looks like he's going ready to go out trick-or-treating. He has his own costume on, and the overall idea is just really, really cool. The design looks really awesome, and it was something that was definitely overdue. I'm not quite 100% sure what it placed in the contest, but it ended up getting its own Pop. It looks awesome, really cool idea, and overall just it turned out really awesome. From paper to the product, I think that's why it deserves to be on this list. All right, this one's kind of a personal one for me, but somebody, their comment, they said, finally a Utah Jazz Pop, Spider Mitchell. So Donovan Mitchell finally got a Pop. I'm a huge Jazz fan, as you guys know. Being from Utah, I mean, I get let down year after year because they haven't won the finals, but you know, I still enjoy my sports, and it's fun to have a sports team here in Utah, professional one. And Donovan Mitchell, he is such a stud, such an awesome basketball player. And so I'm glad that they kind of made a Pop that related to Utah. Hopefully, you know, they make more Utah related athletes in the future, like John Stockton, Carmelo. That would be awesome. But as for now, I'm glad that they finally made something Utah sports related in the Donovan Mitchell Pop. So this one was submitted by somebody that I know super well. We're just gonna put it that way. And she said the McDonald's Pops. And I would have to agree, the McDonald's Pops are actually really sweet. It's been, why are they on this list? Well, it's been a long time coming. People have been asking for these guys for a really, really long time. I mean, ever since ad icons were a thing, this was something that people have been wanting for forever. I mean, ever since, like I said, since like the original like cereal monsters that came out were the first ad icons, and people were talking about they want McDonald's ones. People made customs because, you know, they were so excited and they wanted to see those Pops. And, you know, they finally made it happen. And now, you know, Funko, they're going to milk the crap out of it until we don't like them anymore. But as of right now, it makes the 2020 list due to the fact that they look cool and they're finally here. This one's a personal one for me, and somebody else put this in, but they said comic book guy from The Simpsons. So why is it on this list? Well, it kind of has a couple of different reasons. For me, I love to see that they're making new Simpsons characters, so that's one of the reasons why it's here. And the other one, I think it looks awesome. So comic book guy, and the fact when it came out, so it did come out during New York Comic Con. Comic book guy makes sense, right? Why didn't they already have comic book guy already? So it's fun that they finally did come out with it, and it was exclusive to a con, so it kind of correlated together and kind of made sense. But it looks really awesome. It looks a lot like the character. I love how he's got his little glove on and he's pulling out like a comic or whatever from its like wrapping basically. And I think it just looks really awesome, and overall really cool Pop. And I hope we see a lot more Simpsons Pops here in 2021 and in the future. So we're a little over halfway, but this next one is Jack in the Box SDCC. Well, and there's only one version of Jack in the Box, so I don't know why I said SDCC, but that's when it did come out. So this one is actually really cool because a lot of people, kind of like the McDonald's Pops, have been asking for this one. A very iconic character, if you ask me. And this one had a lot of hype surrounding it as far as trying to obtain it because it was only available on the Funko Shop. I actually have it up there. I don't know if you can see it on the video right now, but a very cool Pop, designed very well. I mean, I think there was some issues with it being a remold of like a Superman Pop with him opening up his shirt, but overall I think it's really awesome because people really like the character. I think it turned out really cool, and they did an excellent job of turning it into a Pop. This person says this is fine dog because it perfectly fits for this year. Also, it's an awesome Pop, and I couldn't agree more. So if you guys didn't know, the This Is Fine Dog, it's from like a meme basically, or I don't even know if it came from like a video or a comic strip or something like that. I'm not 100% sure what the origins of. I know it from a meme, but overall the Pop looks really cool. Why it deserves to be on this list? Well, it relates to this crazy year that we've had for sure. You know, I mean, like, anything that you can think of really happened this year, honestly. And it was just heightened even more with the coronavirus and everything. It was crazy. But the overall design of the Pop looks really cool too. I love how he's holding his mug that says "This is fine," sitting on his little chair, and there's like these little like clear flames behind him too, which, attention to detail, Funko did a really good job on this figure. And I think 100% it deserves to be on this list, you know, due to the fact it's been a crazy year, and, you know, it's almost like a mascot for this year. 100% for sure. This person says Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, and that would have to be on my personal like top Pops of 2020 as well. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy is like, it's kind of, they're weird side characters, I guess, if you want to say, of SpongeBob. They're almost kind of like, in a way, I think it kind of attributes back to like superheroes, like maybe like the Adam West version of Batman sort of, but SpongeBob kind of did their own twist on it. And they're kind of like washed up superheroes, but they're super funny characters. They're SpongeBob's favorite superheroes, and they turned out really cool as Pops. I think Mermaid Man specifically looks the best out of the two, but it's fun that they're doing more like side characters of SpongeBob. I would love to see more because they have so many different characters in that show. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where they go this upcoming year if they make more different characters like they did for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. But overall, I think it definitely deserves to be on this list. So this next one was submitted, and it is the I Am Iron Man pop. So this is the one where, well, spoiler alert, but this movie's been out forever. It's the one with Tony Stark, obviously, in like his final scene, almost in a way, where he snaps his fingers and everything goes back to normal, basically. And he's got the gauntlet, well, his homemade gauntlet with all the stones in it and everything. He's bleeding on his face. He's on the ground. It's got almost like a cool little stand or whatever to the pop. Overall, I would have to agree. The pop turned out very, very cool. A lot of people were really excited about it. So that kind of, you know, if it lives up to the hype, it definitely deserves to be on a top list in my book. And it definitely lived up to what a lot of people thought it would look like. And it turned out really cool. A lot of people were really satisfied with it. All right, this one was an early one in the year, but this is the gelatinous cube. And I would have to agree 100% with this being on the list. It's a Dungeons and Dragons pop, so I don't really know personally anything really about it. But kind of funny thing was the movie Onward came out around the same time that this pop came out. And a lot of people attribute it from being from that movie because there is a part where the gelatinous cube does appear in that movie and they're like kind of running away from it or whatever. So a lot of people like to think that maybe they were giving a little bit of a reference from that movie to that. But overall, it's just a really unique pop, definitely different. I mean, honestly, it's just really a pop head with like a cube, a clear cube surrounding it, and it's got a bunch of little other like pieces or whatever of like a knight with all of his like armor and swords and stuff all kind of melted away in this little cube. Definitely from a design standpoint, it looks really awesome and it's something different, and I think they did an awesome job and it was executed very well. So here we go. So this one, somebody said, loving the Simpsons extension with not only Halloween horror pops, but other characters. I would have to agree. I mean, I might be a little bit biased since I'm a Simpsons fan, but overall the pops looked really cool, especially the Halloween ones came out really awesome. Donut Head Homer, Raven Bart, to name a few. I think they looked really awesome. And then some of the regular characters that they came out with this year, like Millhouse, Comic Book Guys, Sideshow Bob, all of those pops looked really cool, and I think they did an excellent job of designing those. So I would have to agree because it's fun to see new characters that they're coming out with, and you know, some creative liberty on some new molds looks really awesome. All right, and then the last one that I'm gonna share with you guys is from Coco, which is kind of interesting to see this one appear since the movie is a couple of years old now. But somebody suggested Pepita, which is the box lunch exclusive glow in the dark, and it's a 6-inch pop. So it actually, I would have to agree, the glow looks really great on it. The overall design of the pop looks really, really solid, and definitely deserves to be on this list. It's something that's unique. It's one of those side characters that you wouldn't really think to be a pop, but when it comes to a pop, you're like very surprised, and I think it turned out really cool and looks really awesome. And guys, just like that, we are done with the best pops of 2020. That was definitely a very long video, but you know, this year actually had some really good pops. Even though this year kind of sucked and was a little bit crappy, we still had something fun to look forward to collect, and something, you know, to kind of enjoy even in this crazy world. So let me know in the comment section below what were some of your favorite pops, whether they were your favorite ones that you collected, or from a design standpoint, what do you think deserved to be in the top pops of 2020. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one, guys. For the next couple of days, like I said, we're gonna be coming out with new videos with the worst pops, and also Funko looking forward in 2021. So be on the lookout for that. But guys, thank you so much for watching again. You guys are the best. Remember to be kind to one another and always promote positivity, and I'll see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.